Hello and welcome to the channel. Welcome back to G.I. Joe, Real American Hero Costume Club, or Arah for short. This video, I'm going to be focusing on some frequently asked questions. This is a rather old list since we have been in existence from 2011, and this frequently asked questions was adopted back then, but it's still pertinent, still relevant. So, first question, who are we? Well, we're Arah. We're a costume club. We portray the good guys, the bad guys, the in-between guys, the dregs of society. In other words, we portray G.I. Joe, we portray Cobra, we portray October Guard, and the Dreadnoks. We do this by having costumes that are based on costume regulations, standards that are put forth that meet the spirit of the costume. So yeah, that's it. That's who we are. We're a costume club. We do this to have fun. What is trooping and why do we do it? Okay, well, first of all, it goes back to we're a costume club. So what is trooping? Trooping is getting in your costume, your approved costume, and interacting at an event. Whether it is a public event like a convention or a movie premiere, or a private event like birthday parties or, something along those lines. Trooping is basically you getting kitted up and going out and participating, whether it's a parade or and all the other things that I brought up. Why do we do it? Well, why not? First of all, we're a costume club. How better are we supposed to showcase the fact that we're a costume club than to go out and go troop? So that's why we do it. We do it to promote the franchise. We do it to interact with the community. And that is pretty much what trooping is. To follow up with that is, what is required to troop in the G.I. Joe Costume Club, and are there rules in doing so? Yes, there are rules. Every organization should have rules, and they are important for the safety and security of not only the club, but the club members. So yes, we do have rules. We do have standards, and they're not meant to be exclusive, to mean exclude people. It's meant for everybody's protection. Like I said, it's also for the protection of the club, and in their standing with the powers that be. It's also for the protection of the costumed members themselves. So, first of all, what is required? Well, what is required is to have your approved costume. And what is an approved costume? It is something that we call the screen accurate costume. Star Wars clubs have costumes that basically their standard is, if it looks like it just walked off the movie set, that's the standard. Over in Arah, what we have is the 10-foot rule. The 10-foot rule consists of, basically, it's like this. I take my glasses off and I see you from about 10 feet away. And if I can easily recognize the costumed character of who you say you're portraying, that is the standard. That costume makes the grade. It makes the it's what gets approved, right? So the trooping standard, the required to troop, is to have the costume, the approved costume that you're trooping in. We used to have costuming requirements, requiring you to do at least one event a year, but that's just something that wasn't really feasible because we only have 38 members as of today, February 24th, 2024. We only have 38 members. We're a very small club. It didn't make any sense to have a trooping requirement when it really can't, it's not feasible to follow up on that. So we no longer have that. Once you're a member for life. You get the one of the perks that you get when becoming a member is you get your own service number that is yours for life, and the only time you can ever lose it is if you're banned. And one of those 38 have been banned. Just putting it out there is that it's your number for life. But that's the real requirement. There's two requirements to troop, and that is to have your approved costume and to follow the house rules of the event that you're at. That goes without saying, and there's no room for discussion there. I'm sorry. If you are attending a convention and that convention says no on weapon props, either A, don't attend that event, or B, adhere to the event rules. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. If you can lobby all you want, and I agree, I think weapon props should be there. I mean, it's part of the experience, it's part of the costume, but at the end of the day, you know what? Your costume is the costume, right? Your appearance, who you are, I mean, you're still representing that character. So, do that, please don't bring any unnecessary heat on our club, because it's the quickest way to get some disciplinary action, and that'll be in a future video. So that is the requirement for trooping. Also, it is absolutely vitally necessary that when you're in costume that you recognize that you are representing the franchise, whether we like it or not. We are representing the powers that be. So with that, I ask of you to adhere to a PG friendly atmosphere, and that means your conduct must also reflect that of what we are fostering here at Arah, which is family friendly. That means I get that we're portraying military figures, and the swearing like the proverbial sailor applies. Okay, please don't. I mean, it's no lewd language, no crude, offensive gestures. If you are of age, smoking and drinking, while that may be legal, please don't do it in costume, and please don't do it in public. The other stuff that's legal, I'm not a big proponent of it, but again, if it's legal in your area, please don't do it in costume and don't do it in public. That's all I ask. Okay? Violations can be dealt with. We do have a disciplinary code, and again, that'll be for a future video. So next one. What is spotting and why is it important? Okay. Spotting is really important in the Star Wars clubs, because when you have a costumed character that has this much vision, and I did that. I was a TIE pilot. Like, I could only see this much out of my TIE pilot. When I was a Mandalorian, I could see about that much. Okay, spotting is important. We may not need spotters because of vision issues, but spotting basically is a handler who takes care of the costumed character, looks after them, watches over them, makes sure that they're not missing a kid that's tugging at their waistcoat wanting a high five or a picture or something. It's also, if you're in a parade, it's them pointing out, hey, there's a pothole there, you don't want to fall into it. It's also running interference for jerks out there that just like to mess with costumed characters. Unfortunately, that happens. A spotter is vitally necessary to help curb that. Your safety is my number one concern, obviously. So if we can have spotters there that can help deflect that, that's what we're looking for. I'm not expecting anybody to be security, but because, well, there's legal ramifications there. We can't say they're security. Especially here in Oregon where I live, security, you're actually required to be licensed in the state of Oregon, and it's a $1,500 fine if you violate that. So I would never want to violate that. I wouldn't want anybody to violate that, because I'm certainly not able to pay for that fine. So, but you could be a spotter, and if you are a spotter, you can wear apparel that says spotter or handler. Please do not ever wear anything that says security, because again, that's just, we're playing with fire on that one. But spotting is important. It helps our cause. If we have tables at conventions, like a fan table, for instance, spotters are great there too, because they are the faces and information brokers, as you will, for the club. So I mean, that's also vitally necessary. You don't have to be completely costumed at a fan table, although it helps to promote the franchise and the club. But spotters can be there too, and they're great to have as support for the club and for the members who are there. So, how do I spot, and are there some guidelines I should follow when dealing with the public? I've already kind of touched on that a little bit. The only thing I could add to that is spotters, be professional, be friendly. If you don't know the answer to a specific question, don't try to answer it. Defer it. Send it back to me, send it back to somebody in the club, send it back to one of the admins or what have you. But treat everyone as you want to be treated, right? So if you come across someone who's hostile, kill them with kindness, or simply walk away and get that customer who's being accosted, walk them away. Whatever. I mean, the thing is, like, I really don't want to see a fist fight or a brawl break out with anybody, really. It's just best to walk away. Oftentimes there are security that are hired to do that job at events like conventions and sometimes parades as well. Let them deal with it. Again, your safety is paramount to me. It is number one to me. Our number one rule in this club is to have fun. Our number two should be to be safe. And if I haven't put it in there, I probably should. But I mean, they're just, use some common sense, be reasonable. That's all I can really say to that, is that if you're at a storefront, treat the clientele, the patrons, the customers as if they were your customers, that sort of thing. So just, because what you do is reflective of the image that our club projects. And I mean, I'm sorry to put you in that position, but it's true. Anyone who dons a G.I. Joe costume has to recognize that they are inadvertently, whether they like it or not, the public is seeing them as a representative of the G.I. Joe franchise, and we need to conduct ourselves accordingly. We need to conduct ourselves with good conduct. And that's all I ask for spotters. That's all I ask for costumers, cosplayers, whatever term you want to use. The reality is that we should be family friendly. And if you want to tell dirty jokes, do it aside, do it somewhere else, on your own time, out of costume, please, away from the general public. That's all I ask. Okay. Next one. I don't have a costume. Where should I start? Well, this popular quote applies here. Knowing is half the battle. You're already there, right? You don't have a costume, but where should you start? Well, you start right here. You are right here. Ask questions. Get plugged in at the Facebook page, which, I mean, if you haven't already, I'll link the Facebook page below. Come talk to us. Join us in discussion. Every once in a while, I mean, we have our lulls where we don't really we aren't very active, but sometimes we're active quite a bit. Come ask questions. There is a Facebook Messenger chat that is attached to our page. Again, our page it's a closed page because of advertisements that abused the privilege of coming onto the page, and I've addressed that in the last video, and I apologize for that. But where you start right here with this frequently asked questions. You go through, watch this video, and get a better idea of what it is, what we do, and how we do it, and get a little bit of the psychology there. But after that, you ask questions. If you're not sure what costume character you should do, well, first and foremost, there is over 300 character variations to choose from. It's a lot. If you need help, do feel free to reach out to me. I'm your founder. Reach out to, as of this video, Devery, your personnel officer. He is a wealth of information. He can help you out as well. So reach out and ask questions. Anyone's going to chime in and help out. And there's a lot of people that are more than willing to send you in the right direction. We will always point you in the right direction, whether it's where to find gear or who to go to make a certain widget. That's really it in a nutshell. Do your research, but come to us. We're not going to steer you wrong. We will always try to set you straight. I was at an event and someone in the crowd asked me a question. To where, to whom should I direct them? Great. If you don't know the answer, direct them to me. Direct them to the admin or an admin, or direct them to the Facebook page. One way or another, it's going to get back to me as your founder, and I will address any questions. But please don't make up an answer. That is ill-advised. We do not want to send the wrong message to the public. If you field a question and you don't know the answer, you're not sure, defer it to us. Defer it to the admin team. Defer it to me. That's all I can stress enough for that. If you don't know, you don't know, and there's no penalty for that. There's nothing wrong with that. Please do not make stuff up. Are there any specific safety guidelines would need to be followed at events? Yes. Basic common sense is the key. Costumers are there to have a good time and entertain, but they are also there to look out for one another. Be the eyes and the ears for your fellow troopers. If there is a problem, try to find an admin officer to see to the situation. Never try to handle or escalate a situation alone. There are safety in numbers, and it always is best to have others around to help diffuse any situation as they occur. Basically, it goes back to what I was saying about spotting. If you find yourself in a situation, quickly remove yourself from it as best as you can, and always follow the safety guidelines of the event. Like, for instance, conventions, right? They've got rules, follow them. You got an issue with somebody, try to walk away. Get someone. Look, I used to do security for a living, and I don't do it anymore, but I am not opposed to stepping in and getting someone to back off if I have to. And when it comes to one of my members, I'm going to stand up for you, and I'm going to protect you as best I can. However, I'm also smart enough to also utilize resources that are there. Utilize the resources that are there. So if you're in an issue, you have an issue, seek help, right? No one expects you to be a hero. No one expects you to, go take on 5 guys at once, or, something stupid like that. Like that, we may have seen Duke and Flint do that in the cartoons, but that's fantasy. This is reality. Again, your safety is paramount. It is number one. That's all I care about. So, yeah. I have a replica gun as part of my costume. How shall I avoid getting shot by local law enforcement? This is a very good one. And again, it's more common sense. Look, several years ago, oh, when was it? 2012, 13, somewhere in there. I was a Cobra soldier. I was up at Emerald City Comic Con, and I was using a very realistic looking AK-47 prop rifle. It was an airsoft rifle. It had the orange tip on it. I walked right past Seattle PD. A cop looked at me and he said, "Thank you for keeping that orange tip on there. Had that orange tip been removed, I would have had, concerns about you." So, in a nutshell, the best thing to do about that prop weapon is, if it's a pistol, keep it holstered. If you have to pull it out for a photo op, great. So you don't like the orange tip. The orange tip is going to keep you from getting shot. So, my best advice, keep that orange tip there. However, going back to the photo op, if you're pulling a pistol, leave your trigger finger off the trigger. Engage in trigger discipline. First and foremost, because that's, it's less threatening for one, and it's just good proper trigger discipline. And even I'm guilty of that. I'm bad about that too, but I'm putting it out there, so it's take your photo, holster it as soon as possible, and then you should be fine. Leave the orange tip on. That's my best advice. That's doing those things and ensuring that you are not engaging in activity that looks menacing or threatening. That's the quickest way. Doing that is the quickest way to get cops on you, like, flies on poo. So just, employ common sense here. That's the best thing I can say. So for that concludes our frequently asked questions. If you have any other questions, feel free to drop them in the comments and I'll get to them as soon as possible. If not, you can always go to our Facebook page. And again, I'll drop that link there as well. Come to our Facebook page, ask questions. That's what we're here for. Come enjoy the camaraderie and just enjoy being a member of the community. That's what we're here for. Look, as of today, there's about 1,000 members in that page. And I can guarantee you, not everyone is about the costuming aspect. If you're a fan of G.I. Joe, you're welcome here. No ifs, ands, buts about it. While we do endorse the costuming, we embrace the costuming, because after all, we are a costuming club. If you're a fan of the franchise, you're welcome. So come talk to us. Come join us. Engage in conversation. Ask questions. That's what we're here for. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, you can drop them here, or you can address them there at the Facebook page. So with that, I know that this is a long video and I apologize, but it seemed necessary to go through some frequently asked questions and to explain things a little bit better. Future videos will be coming. I have a master plan of doing videos about many topics to be discussed about our club, including our charter. I have in my head to do some videos about the charter, breaking down the charter and explaining the charter in detail, section by section. So look forward to that. So welcome and thank you to our club. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. Please feel free to share our channel with others so that we can get club information out there. Like and subscribe. I can't believe I'm saying this because I usually hate when I see this in videos, but liking, like it or don't, that's fine. Subscribe is great. Please and thank you. click the notification bell for sure, because that's when you know that I've dropped another video. And so yeah, you know the deal. If you're familiar with YouTube at all, then I mean, you know the deal. And when you know, you know. So I'll end this. Thank you for spending these last 25 minutes with me. Apologize that I'm long-winded, but there's good information there. So, Yojo, Cobra, knowing is half the battle, and we'll talk to you soon.